future of women's golf takes centre stage. Welcome to the 2025 Women's Amateur Asia Pacific, where the brightest young stars of the game battle for glory on Hoi An Shores Golf Club, Vietnam. With world-class talent, rising stars, and a path to the sport's biggest stages, this is where champions are made. Get ready for 4 days of incredible competition as these elite amateurs shape the future of women's golf. The Asia Pacific Golf Confederation, in association with the R&A, is proud to bring you the final round coverage of the Women's Amateur Asia Pacific. Good morning, everyone. So much at stake today in Vietnam for an event that began in 2018 and has become a launchpad for the next generation of international stars. The 7th staging of the Women's Amateur Asia Pacific. For the first time, Vietnam, the host nation. Janeth Wong on the cusp of history. The Malaysian taking a 3-shot lead into the final round with 2 Korean players, her closest challengers. Well, the leaders went out an hour and a half ago, and this is how things look right now. That 3-shot lead down to 2 now over Su Min Oh and Su Min Hong. 1 birdie, 1 bogey, a 3-putt at the third for Janeth Wong. Jazzy Roberts, though, the Australian, going along really nicely. 3 birdies in the first 7 holes. I'm Richard Kaufman, alongside me, former Ladies European Tour player Sophie Walker. Sophie, it's got a little bit tighter at the top.
It has, and understandably. Janeth Wong finished with 3 birdies in the last 4 yesterday for a round of 64. Started steady today, and that is because what is on offer. We're playing for major championships. You're going to get invited to 3 of them. The AIG Women's Open, the Amundi Evian Championship, the Chevron Championship, not to mention a couple of professional events, and then the Augusta National Women's Amateur in April, and Nairn for the Women's Amateur Championship. You have a year of golf, which many of us will be envious of, but you have to win here first.
Well, this could be turning out very nicely for Sarah Hammett, who has already picked up a couple of birdies. The 2 Australians up there going well. Yesterday it was kind of the opposite at the beginning, but the Aussies have had some positivity early on. Jazzy Roberts and Sarah Hammett both going along very nicely. Here is the group that involves Jazzy Roberts playing with Yujia Liu, who had that incredible 64 yesterday, and we just saw the putt of Yunseo Yang of Korea. Here is the 14-year-old Liu, who had 10 birdies yesterday, but has parred every hole so far today.
Don't you just love golf? What a difference a day makes. Tentative there with that putt, and it looks like it's going to be another par.
Yeah, very different feeling, isn't it? I mean, the wry smile, I think, says it all. Can't believe what I just done with that putt. They were all going in yesterday, 10 birdies. Did throw in a double and a drop shot as well. But it's been impressive for Roberts, and this for a 4th birdie. One of those days, though, where you feel like all those need to go in for her.
It is. I think the damage was done probably on the front 9 yesterday for Jazzy Roberts in that final group. She fought back. She fought back well, but now you're just chasing, you're just pushing constantly. Shot around a 70 in the end yesterday.
Well, what a terrific front 9 this has been from Sarah Hammett, and that's a nice way to finish with a birdie at 9 to go out in 33. 18-year-old from the Gold Coast playing in her 4th Women's Amateur Asia Pacific.
Here's our leader, Wong, par 5, 7th hole.
And maybe it's difficult to tell from that camera angle, but the body language suggested she wasn't happy, ending in one of those sand wasteland areas, which there are so many of around Hoi An Shores.
Well, it's hard for me to say this considering how much sand that you see, but there are no bunkers on this golf course. They're called waste areas, so you will be able to ground your club, but there aren't any rakes in those bunkers.
Could be that the girl.
I'm not sure who is going to be going. It's either Su Min Hong or Su Min Oh. In fact, it is going to be Hong to hit next into this par 5. Started off very nicely, couple of birdies first 2 holes, gave one back at the 4th. She did get that lead down to 1.
Sumino next. You want to take this down the left-hand side because that flag is hidden by the bunker short right.
Bogeyed this hole yesterday, but she's on the walk after this one. Just coming up a little bit short of the green. Just the 1 birdie from her so far. That came from the other par 5 on this front 9. Well, you look at the top 4, we've got a Malaysian, Korean and an Australian contingent there. 3-shot gap to the rest. No Malaysian, Australian or Korean has ever won the Women's Amateur Asia Pacific before. We've had 2 players from Chinese Taipei, 2 from Japan and 2 from Thailand win the opening 6 editions of this event. Scoring today not quite as low as some of the numbers we were seeing yesterday. There has been a really good back 9, her front 9 from Vivian Liu. You can see she finished birdie eagle at 17 and 18 to go out in 30, player playing in her 5th Women's Amateur Asia Pacific from New Zealand. So there is a score to be had.
Well, looking at conditions, the wind is benign, but the flag locations are tucked. I think we'll see that on the 7th hole. So it's not just about where you hit on these generous fairways, it's kind of hitting the left or the right side in order to access a flag. And also, you know, final day, there'll be some tired players out there. 72 holes, 2 of them was in quite a lot of wind. And then, you know, what's at stake?
Well, this has proved a tricky hole, this par 4 9th.
This and the 12th have shared the hardest hole on the golf course, this 9th hole. Playing only 390 today, it's been playing over 400 yards for most of the week. Yang with driver.
You're impressed with that swing?
I am, yeah. It's got great poise, and the way it keeps its shape, you know, the radius of the arms to the chest, it always stays the same.
Well, she's got a bit of a break there. She has missed that waistland area. So coming off the fairway makes a huge difference.
Just over 100 yards left here for Wong, but you would expect from that upslope and where that pin is on the right-hand side that this is going to want to take it to the left. You've got to be careful on this. But with wedges and approach play, it's normally the highlight of her game. Just needs it to come back to the left. It did.
64 yesterday, which equaled the not only the lowest round of the day, they equaled the lowest round of the week, which is what gave her that 3-shot advantage.
Roberts started playing golf at age 6 alongside her brother Tom. I wonder who's the best golfer now.
Inez Ung over at 13. I wonder why we were seeing that one. Singaporean picks up her 2nd birdie of the day to move to 2 under par. Another one that's playing in this event for the 5th time, 5 out of 7. Next year, the Women's Amateur Asia Pacific will be off to Royal Wellington in New Zealand.
Needs to carry that front bunker. Superb. Great control there from Hong.
They just got to keep trying to put the pressure. Hong and Oh are fairly close friends, teammates naturally the last year or so on the Korean national team. And collectively, they want to put pressure on the leader, Janeeth Wong from Malaysia.
They've spoken all week about being part of a team and being proud of how well that they're doing. And I think for the opening 9 holes at least, you can almost try and gang up on Wong. You know, talk to each other in Korean, laugh and joke, and then get into position and try and go individually on this back 9. Now, O's been great on the par 5s. This one from about 60 yards. Just wants to land it short of that pin. Nice touch.
So birdie putts all round to come on the par 5 7th. Pimpissa Rubrong, who finished 4th last year on home soil at Siam Country Club. Makes another birdie, so she's 4 under for the day. 4th last year, she's now in a share of 5th.
She's got former Ladies European Tour player and LPGA player Natoya Srisoang on the golf bag. Hidden there from us.
I was going to say, you sure about that?
I know her.
And Sir Choi of New Zealand. All pars so far, and that one not really threatening the hole. Well, nicely judged nonetheless. Yeah, par golf when you're in that chasing pack at 8 under par, starting the day 7 back. Par golf naturally isn't going to get things done. Although Janeth Wong is level par for the day. 20 years of age. We have never had a non-teenage winner of this championship. The oldest champion was last year's winner, Chun Wei-oo, who was just over 19 when she won in Thailand.
They're good, aren't they? Wong has a real set routine. It's bouncy, it's intense. You can see her just constantly looking at ball line, and then once she gets over it, then she does that as well. She's very target focused. She has the Jordan Spieth approach where she looks at the hole. Her father Kenneth was the one that said, let's give this one a go. It takes all the attention away from the stroke. Wants to take this one down the left-hand side here.
So the opportunity is there for the 2 Korean players to close the gap again. We had some fun watching Ying Shu hole some putts this week. Normally celebrates them. Won't get to see that here from the Chinese player. Had that spectacular finish yesterday with 5 birdies in the last 6 holes. We'd expect one of these to go.
You would. It's the 3rd easiest hole on the golf course, and there's almost a bit of excitement in So-min Oh there, like ready to get into the routine. Look how quickly she did that aim point.
Got a dad on the bag, and they're very much a team, aren't they? He's not one of the father caddies who stays out of things. He's looking at that line with her. There he is, prowling behind her.
Got to move from right to left off the brow of the bunker, and you can keep the pace on it as well. The grain sits back into her. An opportunity to go 1 back off the lead here for O, for birdie. Oh, you see her just strike it ever so slightly out the toe, which then turned the blade left on her.
In good position again, Jazzy Roberts, who we speculated yesterday maybe it was really going to between those final 3 ball, but Roberts has emerged from the chasing pack, although she's left herself in a horrible spot over there. So, par from Wong, par from Su-min Oh. Su-min Hong, who led the way at the halfway stage by a couple of shots. This to try and close that gap back to 1 again, as she had done when she birdied the opening 2 holes.
Downhill, left to right. Got to take this one outside of the hole. Ooh. A let off there for Wong. Both of the Korean golfers missing from inside 12 feet there on the par 5.
Back we go to the 9th hole. Yujie Liu.
Flag 6 from the right. All drops off on this tabletop green. That's safe.
Well, I suppose when you've just seen what Roberts did, no real surprise to see that. Let's have a look at this par 3/8 coming up next for the final 3 ball.
There's a nice variation at Hoi An Shores with long par 3s and short par 3s. This one today, 152 yards, pin cut in the back right corner. You can take on that bunker, try and hit a fade into it. The wind is normally left to right, but as we can see, there isn't much going on here. But this is what I was talking about. Maybe the scores aren't quite as good as we've seen yesterday and the day before, just because the pin positions will grab your attention more. So the carry, the minimum carry over that bunker, you're looking at 145 yards. And Wong, for instance, it's a pretty stock draw, so it's going to be hard for her to get in there tight. And you'll see the likes of Su Min Oh here. She's using that left-hand side of the tee box to try and shoot up to a right pin here. Playing back into some hurt, so this could be a 7-iron, just to make sure that she clears that bunker in case she doesn't get it.
Not had a hole in one so far this year in the Women's Amateur Asia Pacific. We have had a fair few along the way, the last 6 editions. Sunya Tripas had 2 holes in one in last year's edition.
She's gone looking for it. Get up. Oh.
Okay, that's okay. This, though, has got a lot of working out to do for Jazzy Roberts. Just had to take a punishment there. So struggling to avoid a first drop shot of the day. Now, this is her favourite hole on the golf course, Janeth Wong. She has made a birdie 2 here every day.
There was me saying it might not set up too well for her, but it's more from that flag on the right. There is some wind moving it from left to right. We saw the flags beyond this tee box. So 152 yards, minimum carry over that bunker is 145.
Well, if she goes on and wins this week, she might want to take a piece of the 8th hole with her, because she has just played it absolutely magnificently. Another super shot in at 8 for Janeth Wong.
You see these windy conditions that we've had at the beginning of the week. It's so easy for your swing to be knocked off, your rhythm to have gone. But because she's just got a go after it mentality, it's always very brisk. I think that has helped her.
Well, it's on the putting surface, but that is a long way from the pin for Su Min Hong. And this time it's Janeth Wong, closest of the leading trio. A chance to make it a 2 at 8 again, and potentially stretch her lead at the top of this Women's Amateur Asia Pacific, coming towards the halfway stage of this final round with so much on the line in Vietnam. Yuchi Chen putting together a nice round today as well. One of those that started on the back nine. When I mentioned the previous champions we have here this year in what is now the 7th edition of this Women's Amateur Asia Pacific.
Oh, yes.
Wonderful.
Beauty.
And that is a lovely way to finish off the week.
She's found in the bottom of the cup.
Fabulous putt from the Thai player.
The best we have seen.
Got a chance. It's got a chance. All the way for Chun Wei. Yeah, that last putt came last January. Nobody has come from more than 3 shots behind going into the final round. And that was when Mizuko Hashimoto won. This is going. How about that?
Yang willing it in there. 3 birdies in her last 4 holes of the front 9.
She's still 5 back. I mean, that looked like it was going to finish, what, 4 or 5 feet short at one stage. And it just kept going and going before it then just disappeared.
Seems like it's online there. Just needs to go. Might try that. Will it into the hole. Got to be careful on this one. Just flip the blade underneath the ball here. Land it on the downslope.
Like that?
Well, it's an area of the game that she noted that she was working on coming into this week.
Well, she'll know the line. Also got a chance, you know. Wasn't far away. This is the par 3 8th, where our final 3 ball are. Janith Wong in closest. Sumino secure now of her par. But one of the big features here is, you know, the links type layout, the wasteland sand areas, and then there's the undulating massive green areas that we have, and Sumin Hong's got to negotiate plenty of it here at 8.
I think that's why we've seen Janith Wong at the top of the leaderboard, because her second shots have been tighter, closer to the flag than everybody else's. It's okay hitting the green, but it's about hitting the right portion of the green, because if not, you're left with so much to contend with. This one here, up the slope, and you've got to keep an eye on the break, but it's the speed that you hit the putts. Because of the slope, the speed becomes almost more important than the line. This one, uphill from left to right.
And that never had the chance. So problems for Sumin Hong. Problems as well for Jazzy Roberts, upper hole at 9.
Oh, missed the green right, and there's bogeyed her 9th hole. She'll go out in 34, 2 under par, 11 under, and now 4 back.
For now, because Janith Wong has a decent look coming up at this par 3 8th. Real opportunity to get back to where she started the day, which was that 3-shot advantage over the 2 Korean players, the 2 Sumino and Sumin Hong.
You can see the P on her hat. She represents Pepperdine College over on the west side of America.
Yeah, majoring in psychology there in her 3rd penultimate year. Maybe a sign of a few nerves there, a little tentative. We've seen her so positive on the greens in general this week.
It filters through into your hands, the tension.
couldn't see her face there, but the body language is suggested just that. That's disappointing to not give that one a run at least, but it's understandable. I mean, you've mentioned all the different carrots that are dangling, never mind just, you know, those major championships, the Chevron Championship in Texas, off to France and the shores of Lake Geneva for Evian, and then the links of Royal Porthcawl in Wales for the AIG Women's Open. It is a year that could change big time for one of these players.
So Min Hong has already highlighted how she wants to go to Evian. There is a big pull, isn't there, with the Asian golfers to that golf course. You think of how many have won around it, but she wants to visit Paris. It's so easy to start thinking, what if? Great par save, that. Keeping the momentum. She missed a birdie opportunity on the last and has held position there.
Well, it was a green where she could easily have stepped off 4 shots behind, but she made her par putt, and Janeth Wong missed her birdie opportunity. We've seen some Japanese success here over the years. Aina Fujimoto, 1 over par for the day as the leaders head for 9.
Back up towards the clubhouse, this 9th hole, playing easier today. It's the 8th hardest hole. It's normally a lot more difficult than that, and that's because of the wind. It's normally straight back into the wind here. Playing 390 yards, the shortest it's played all week. The green, the size of an Olympic swimming pool, and you must keep it down that left-hand side. If you run to the right, it falls away. However, we have a slight funnel pin here on 9, so if you do hit it to the left of it, you can get it close. 3-wood furrow. Just trying to find the fairway, feed one between the 2 waste bunkers left and right.
Coming into the weekend, Sumino probably was the favourite, ranked 9th in the world. We did have one player ranked higher in the field at the start of the week, which was the US Women's Amateur Champion, Rian Maliksi, but her ambitions were quickly snuffed out when she had to withdraw after just 5 holes of this championship. Disappointment for the player from the Philippines, who celebrates her 18th birthday tomorrow. So happy birthday, Rian.
Birthday. This tee box, it's not flat. That's kind of a theme of this golf course as well. So ball above her feet, it's easy to turn this one into the left bunkers. Robert Trent Jones Jr. just laid the grass on the land, and it's the first time I've really seen that. Somebody purposely not flattening the tee boxes. You want to take it at the turret at the top of the clubhouse in the distance. If you do happen to turn it over though, the bunker starts at 220 and finishes at 265.
Well, that was not a good tee shot. She may, like she did at the 7th, got away with it. That may have come up just short of the wasteland area, but there are some real signs of nerves from Janeth Wong. Now, good luck with this one, Sarah. You get in the wrong position, there's just very little you can do.
You walk onto the green, don't you? You think, oh no, that's not where I want to be.
Might have been worth even chipping that one. Now, we've been enjoying the trials and tribulations of the 2 Seo Jin Parks we have in the field.
That one's level par, but so's the other one for the round. Sarah for par. Nearly won a Ladies European Tour event at 16 years old. Came 2nd down in Australia at Bonneville, where the LET are heading this next week or so. They're down in Australia.
Yeah, I think Sarah's in the field. Jazzy Roberts is definitely in the field for that one as well. So they'll go from Vietnam onto home soil. Janeth Wong with that 2-shot advantage. Final hole of the front nine here at Hoi An Shores. And we can hear from the general manager here, Wee Peng Seong.
We are not a very old golf course. We are only about 5 years old. So being able to be selected to host such an event it's an honor for us. When we built this golf course, we are the first in Southeast Asia to adopt the GEO golf course construction principles, for sustainability. So if you look around, we hardly use any plastic. If you look at the tee boxes, they are not flat because it follows the natural contour of the land. It's an integrated resort. We have a beach club, we have pickleball, and we have every other kind of entertainment that you can think of. A golf club just adds to that, especially being a top 100 golf course in the world. The golf population in Southeast Asia will flock here. This is a links golf course. Predominantly is situated next to the sea, so you have the windswept sand dunes and all that. So we just shape them and we grass them. I would say probably number 17. If you play it in the morning, you can see the Charm Islands, just like in Turnberry, you can see the Ilse. In the evening, the sun sets there, so it's a beautiful place to take a picture. And then you ride into the sunset on 18. So I would say 17 is one of the signature holes.
It's a spectacular setting, isn't it? A golf course built on the side of a former fish farm. We're just south of Hoi An in a fishing village in the Quang Nam province. Designed by Robert Trent Jones Jr. It's a tropical links built on a sand-based turf. Par 71 today, playing just under 6,500 yards. And she has avoided that sand just again.
He's a long way back here, looking to hit a raking draw with that fairway wood. Oh, and she's done it. Oh, that's unlucky, isn't it? I thought it was going to chase up there. Difficult up and down to come.
Yeah, we saw from that side, Jazzy Roberts struggle. But it was a poor tee shot. Start of the back nine where Shu has really come to life over the week.
Trying to cut one into a back right pin. We might be seeing another fist pump in a few minutes.
Yeah, she parred every hole on the front nine apart from the 6th as we watch Hong look at disappointment to that one. And again, she's left herself one of those.
That's what I was saying about the wind over the past few days. It affects your swing. If you look at Hong's, she's almost slowing down. The body's stopping and the hands are taking over. It's a difficult one to manage when you've come out of such windy conditions and you're trying to find a swing. Now it's getting a little bit more friendlier out there. There's been a lot of club changes today for O.
But this is where you want to be. I mean, it's a tough par 4, but we've only seen 4 birdies here today, but this is a possibility maybe for her to try and get aggressive here.
Needs to be careful of landing short of this pin on that downslope. It could really bounce off. It's in a valley. But you're right, she's a good 50 yards in front of where Wong's tee shot was. Just keep this down the left side of the flag.
Wonderful. Wonderful shot from the world number 9. Well, there could be a significant change here. Given where Wong is, Su Min Oh just turned the screw a little bit here.
Look at the lines of that golf swing. Trying to feather it in from left to right, have it come down softly. Exactly where she was aiming on the very hard 9th hole. Good club, Dad. Nice club change.
Well, she made her women's amateur Asia Pacific debut last year, but it's fair to say over the last 12, 13 months, she has come a long, long way.
All pars for Choi on the front 9. Let's hope the back nine starts differently for her, just nudging off Ying's ball there.
Seo-Jin Park to try and get to 7 under par. This is not the player who was leading after day one. That was the other Seo-Jin Park. This one, the slightly junior at 16. Gets herself to 7 under. So what do you just take your medicine here, or what's the plan?
She's just walking up here to see a landing area so we can see how much she has to carry it, but also how low she is from the green there. I think there is enough green to work with. You want to move it maybe to the left-hand side of the pin here. But the miss is long. And you can see how she's on the downslope. If she was a couple of yards further towards the green, then she'd be on the upslope, which means she could get some height.
Well, she can't do much better than that. That is class from Wong, given the situation and the circumstances. That is a mighty fine shot.
Especially with how strong her grip is.
Shu for birdie. Just the one birdie from her today. She has had great success on this back nine. She's 9 under par for the championship. She's only played that front nine in 1 under. Here's one of the players that will be off to Augusta National Women's Amateur next month. Ko Kurabayashi of Japan.
Just birdied the 11th hole to get herself to -7. Needed another inch there, didn't she?
That was impressive from Wong, wasn't it?
No,
the
it
chip
really
shot
was.
there.
So when we do look at her swing more closely, you will see how far round the left hand goes and under the right hand goes, which means she's got a strong club face. So to hit lob shots like that, she's really got to manipulate.
Another testing 2-putt coming up here for Su Min Hong.
Coped with that one well. Double breaker. The par run continues. 10 in a row. That will test your patience. It always happens, doesn't it? You play alongside Ying, you think, oh, she made loads of birdies yesterday. This is going to be a great day. And both of them have slowed down on round 4.
Interesting, this is slightly longer than the birdie putt to come for Su Min Oh. It's rather tentative, the birdie putt on the last green. I'm sure they're very aware of where things are given the situation between the three here.
And Wong is under par for this 9th hole, 1 under, which is a stellar effort, but has got to work hard on this one. Look at her signalling to her caddy. This could double break. And what is it, 5 feet? Downhill, down grain. Take some commitment on these when there is some doubt in your mind.
Yes. Magnificent up and down. Vital one too. Means she will definitely be on her own at the top of the leaderboard heading into the back nine. It's a question now whether it will be a 2-shot or 1-shot lead.
The pure golf swing of Yang. All over it. You wonder how it even goes wrong with that swing.
So Wong did what was required. Out in level par, 1 birdie, 1 bogey. Sumino knows what's required here.
Just keep the head still. Inside left here. It's been a steady round, but she needs to start making some moves. Oh, she pushed it. They just keep letting her off, don't you? And you think we've only got 9 holes left now.
Well, you think about the opportunities at 7. Wong escaped there. Same's happened here at 9 after that magnificent approach from the 16-year-old Korean Sumino.
And looking at the scoreboard, since the 4th hole, we've not seen a birdie from this 3-ball. We've only seen 1 bogey. It's the tension of this final group at the Women's Amateur Asia Pacific, what it means to get your hands on this trophy. This to avoid a 3-putt here on 9.
When it's going to be 3 very different 4s at this 9th hole from this 3-ball. Off the back of that drop at that 9th hole, Roberts looking to bounce back. That's not threatening.
Sarah Hammett for birdie on the 11th hole.
Player who's committed to the University of Southern California, where compatriot Gabby Ruffles went to as well. All the birdies looked like they were used up yesterday.
A little bit like Choi, isn't it? Exactly the same scorecard.
Sometimes you just feel like I'm never going to hole one. Other days you just feel like you can't miss.
Made 3 birdies in her last 4, Yang.
So another birdie for Yun Seo Yang. She'll move to 11 under par, and she'll take her alongside Jazzy Roberts. We believe so. I mean, the graphic did say it was a par putt, but we saw her 3rd in there. Janeth Wong then, the player heading into the back 9 of this Women's Amateur Asia Pacific. Everything at stake. The lead is 2. Lian Higo, we saw her playing very nicely on day 1. She's moved up to 6 under par today, coming towards the end of her round. Yeah, some good scores out there. Vivian Liu putting together the best round of the day so far, 5 under par. Had that eagle at 18th. Well, we've mentioned some of the features of this golf course. One of them is the pins, which are lanterns, if you hadn't noted. And there is a reason for that, because we are just south of the wonderful city of Hoi An, which is known as the City of Lanterns. It's a UNESCO World Heritage Site, beautiful part of the world to be in. All the lanterns, depending on their colour, have different meaning, and red lanterns, which we have on the golf course, they represent fortune and wealth.
Doesn't help me work out the wind direction, though, does it? We had one smash, didn't we, earlier in the week on the par 3?
We did indeed. Shu in good position again.
Well, the 15-year-old is trying to make some birdies out there. She's given herself plenty of opportunities. You feel like if one drops, then the floodgates will open. It's just finding the key at the moment.
A confirmation that Yun Yang did go to 11 under par. Start of the week with 94 players from 24 countries and territories. We're really down to, well, a potential 5 players champions. You'd have to say those 11 under, 4 back, still have some hope. And here is one of them.
Wind from right to left here, 366-yard par 4.
Hello, Yun Seo, going along very nicely. Yeah, really got herself in the mix with a bogey-free 66 on day 2, which was the best of that day. Very windy it was Friday. Pretty gusty throughout the day. Thursday kind of was a little calmer in the morning, sort of picked up for that morning wave by the turn, and was a pretty steady breeze for the players of the afternoon. But this weekend it's been comparatively calm. It's incredible to think she's only 14, but this is her 3rd Women's Amateur Asia Pacific.
Came 22nd last year. Look at that rotation. Well over 90 degrees there. You could see the writing of China on her back.
She's already played 2 LPGA Tour events. She's played on the Ladies European Tour as well. Yuji Liu, so even at 14, got plenty of experience. There she is right now in a share of 7th spot. 3-shot lead overnight for Janice Wong. That is down to 2, but you get the feeling it could have been narrowed even more.
Yun Yang, she's the one making a move. Started with a bogey today, actually was 2 over through 5 holes, but then a birdie run, which was finished off with this one on 9. She went out in 35, 3 birdies, 2 bogeys.
Yeah, she's added another at 10 since then. It was a really good front 9 for Jazzy Roberts. This setting her up, the Australian, for a 3rd birdie of the day. Unfortunately, she did give one back at 9 and hasn't been able to make her birdie at 10. So like Yang, 11 under.
And then the halfway leader, Sun Min Hong, birdied her opening 2 holes. Bogey on 4, and then a good 2-putt there on the 8th hole. She went out in 35, 2 back.
Sumino hasn't dropped a shot, but there'll be a little bit of disappointment that she hasn't made the most of her birdie opportunities. Prime example, this after that delicious approach into 9 only resulted in a 4. Like Hong, out in 35 and 13 under par. This was that missed birdie opportunity.
And she's had a couple of chances. Those last 3 holes, she has missed birdie chances, and you can see there, testing the patience.
It looked like Janice Wong was in a bit of a pickle at 9. She couldn't have played that much better. 1 birdie, which came at the 2nd, a 3-putt at the 3rd, but a wonderful save to head to the back 9 with a 2-shot advantage.
A confident-looking save there as well. Fist pump.
Yeah, she has looked a little bit nervous at times, but that might steady things heading to a big 9 holes.
Is there even a hole there? That's what Ensign Choi will be thinking.
Well, she is New Zealand's #1 amateur, and I'm sure she's delighted with the venue for next year's Women's Amateur Asia Pacific, because it was announced earlier this week that it will be taking place next February at Royal Wellington in New Zealand. The first time that New Zealand would have hosted the championship on a golf course that was first established in 1895 right alongside the Hutt River It's a parkland layout, one of the premier courses in New Zealand, and it hosted the Asia Pacific Amateur Championship of 2017, which was won by China's Yuxin Lin.
Oh, I'm looking forward to going there. I've never been to the North Island before in New Zealand.
She's got one. Little bit of the fist bump comes out. Second birdie of the day for Ying Shu, and she is up to 6th on her own.
Did you say she's only 15?
Mm-hmm.
I wonder if she's stopped growing yet. Looking at turning pro soon. Yang's on a roll. Right to left wind. Four under for her last 5 holes. Just pressing, just pushing. Let's see where she can get to, because everyone around her's stalling. Now Jazzy likes these last 8 holes. 8 under par for them for the week. Setting up a chance there, not made a bogey either. So it shows what can be done. You'd expect the wind to get up more as we get closer to the shore, but there doesn't seem to be too much at present.
Well, the other two have certainly set down the markers for Yujia Liu. But that is absolutely wonderful. Well, that should end the par run. She's not been able to buy a putt, but she could maybe even blow that one in from there.
Needed, isn't it? Just to pop your head over there and think, is that mine, the one that's closest? A wedge. Uses the slope short of this pin. And rolls down like a putt.
She really is an exciting talent. Comes from great stock. Dad, a 2-time Olympic gold medalist in table tennis.
Oh, look at the difference in driving distance there between Hong and O. Par 5, 536 yards. It's an uphill second shot. Wind from left to right here. That flag on the right-hand side, so favour the left half.
Yeah, it's almost like a different hole they're playing, isn't it? Su Min Oh and Su Min Hong. In between them is Janeth Wong. Just trying to get that down there as far as she can, and has done the job. I'd give her that one. Up to 9 under par. It's always nice to break the par run with a birdie.
There'll be a smile now. Oh, fist
Oh,
pump.
left her
Don't leave her
hanging.
hanging.
Yeah.
Oh, high five. Okay. She's just not been used to doing it today.
Unfortunately not.
I think she could get there, you know. In
Well,
this bowl here, I make it. She's got about 220 to the front edge.
Well, do
The
you remember-
high cut.
Yeah, I was going to say, do you remember yesterday she produced probably the shot of the day here? Almost.
Good leave, though.
Well, I'm sure there's going to be a few twists and turns over this back 9. For another. This would make things interesting. Yang can pop this in.
Close. Making her debut this year, the 17-year-old, and easily inside that top 10. Looking to see how high she can finish.
Got 3 par 3s on the back 9.
Yeah, this one the Tiddler at 108 yards. Oh, take dead aim, and has. There's a lot of right pins today. This one here that Jazzy Roberts has found. She'll know this is downhill from left to right.
Yeah, she got the read from that putt from Yang, and she made the most of it. That's a nice way to bounce back after a couple of difficult holes for Jazzy Roberts. So she's up to 12 under, 3 back. Don't discount her just yet.
Went through the back of the green, chip to here. Oh, that one's going to hurt. That's a bogey par, bogey start to the back 9 for Hammett. She drops to -7. The 10th hole, where So Min-oh made eagle here yesterday. It's 536 yards. Maybe she's the only one that can reach it. The layup area, make sure that you're short of a waste bunker that sits 50 yards shy of the green. And then the flag today is on the right-hand side. 19 on, 9 from the right. Everything runs into that pin position as well. So with the layups, there's certainly a chance to stick it close by using the slope. But also, there's just that annoying thing of where you finish on these fairways. Like, look at this for Wong. The ball's above her feet, but she wants to hit it from left to right.
Another classy effort from Janeeth Wong. Well, Wong is standing firm, you'd have to say, right now. That's her ball in close. It needs a response from the Korean duo, who are trying to close her down.
Oh is just short of the green. Hong here just trying to cut a wedge from left to right. Got that one dancing.
Pacing this one out is So Min-oh. So Min-hong will have a decent birdie look to come.
And with the two Korean players, as we know, we're waxing lyrical about them, but in terms of experience, they both only started to play international golf last year, where we look at Wong at 20 that has played a lot. You find if you come from a country like Malaysia, you're in the team early if you're good, and she's created so many opportunities to go and play golf around the world, and I think that's going to help her by winning events everywhere, knowing, yes, the magnitude of this, but how to get it over the line. This pitch shot left here for 20 yards, wants to carry it 2/3 over the ridge. Oh, missed the landing area.
But it's trying for her. Done a lot better than it looked originally. She's actually got it inside her 2 playing partners. For a while, that looked like that might finish 20 feet or so
I
short.
think that was a bit chunky.
Yeah. Par 3 12th now for Pimada Wongtanavimok, who hasn't had a birdie yet today. 2 over par for her round. Player known as Nina.
Oh, it's always the case. You probably get the birdie on the hardest hole on the golf course, hitting hybrid into the wind.
I think it's going to be Janeeth Wong to putt first here, is it? Her and So Min-hong were fairly equidistant.
But you know what I mean? Like for Wong, it's always been Wong. You know, as in the Malaysian golf. So past 5 years that she's been there wearing the badge, going out maybe a lot of the events by herself. She's over in California at university, and she lives down in Australia at the minute. She's a seasoned amateur, and in times like this is where you can pull on all of those moments. Whereas Hong openly admitted at the World Girls Team Championships, she started well, fell away, so she's trying to learn from that, but it's only been one big tournament where that's happened. This one will move from right to left, and a chance to get that birdie in first. Start applying some pressure here on the 10th.
It's just something they've not been able to do really since we've joined our coverage. Patience, it's required big time. Hard to maintain though, given what's going on. Lovely tee shot into this short par 3, 14th for Kurabayashi, but she has not made the putt. Yeah. Just the 3 then for the Japanese. There's a good point you make about Janeth Wong and her experiences. In fact, she actually has good feelings from playing here in Vietnam. The only other big event she played here was the Southeast Asian Games back in 2022, when she won Team Silver with Mirabelle Ting and won the individual bronze. SEA Games, as it's known.
Not a whole lot in this putt. Chance to get to 16 under par and some daylight. Look at that, the brisk walk, it's in. She's called the pocket dynamite, is Janeth Wong. I'll tell you what, inside 100 yards, she is deadly. Just a different game that she's playing out there, but on this link style of golf course, it works. Suddenly pressure back on O. She's got to make one soon, surely. This is a 5th chance in a row inside that makeable distance.
Yeah, not quite at that now or never stage. But this putt very different after what Wong has done. Remember, she was just short of the green in 2. Wong having to play it very differently from 100 yards, but she's already walked off with her birdie 4. Missed a similar length putt for birdie at the last hole. Just to stay 2 behind. Well done.
So Min almost has to make birdies on the par 5 in order for her to feel satisfied because of her length off the tee. So she's made a couple today, a couple of birdies. They've been at the par 5s. And both of them are now walking off this green with a more positive stride in their step. If you start this 10th hole with a birdie, even though she's not gained on Wong, there's a feel-good factor.
Confidently played by Xu. Missing that green down the left-hand side as we go back to the 11th tee, right by the Eastern Sea, or the South China Sea, as it's also known.
Driver, dog leg from right to left. That's a better one, isn't it? That's inside 100 yards to the front edge there for Wong. 366 yards is par 4 11th plays today. And you want to try and hit it down the right-hand channel of this fairway. And with a right to left wind, it's kind of a similar shot to what you see on 9. If you do happen to tweak it, you can find the bunkers that sit on the left-hand side. We could see Somino hit 3 wood here. And that flag, middle right. Yeah, that's a good play. Just take it at the pine trees in the distance. Coached by Eddie Lee, the Kiwi-based Korean. Not much to change there.
Yeah, the national coach, Nao Min, was asked if she could, be one of Korea's best players, and, we know who have been there over the years. His answer was pretty emphatic, though, 100% yes, he believes. That's a great effort from Choi. Really well negotiated there. You have to do so on these vast putting surfaces.
But I think what Korean golf do is they send their professionals and their amateurs away together, don't they, on training camps?
Yeah, they've been in Thailand at the start of this year. 6 o'clock in the morning starts. Not all about golf, it's about physical training as well. That's going to end up in one of the waste sand areas.
But I remember Jin Young Ko went on one of these a couple of years ago. They share rooms. I mean, can you imagine? I'm assuming it's not bunk beds, but next to Jin Young Ko, you just at night asking her a couple of questions. Still no birdies. But that, I think that just shows the seriousness of what is going on in Korea golf. It's not just amateurs, then straight to professionals. It's the whole way through.
Yijia Ren, who, like her compatriot, had a 64 yesterday. She's moving up the leaderboard nicely. She's one of the talented young Chinese players who's won professionally on the CLPGA. 3 Chinese players now inside the top 10. 4 Koreans on that page as well, but it's the Malaysian Janeeth Wong who is out in front, just keeping herself at arm's distance from that chasing pack. At the end of last year, some of the players in the field got to enjoy the inaugural Women's Amateur Asia Pacific Academy.
Welcome to the cutting edge of women's golf development. The R&A Women's Amateur Asia Pacific Development Academy is a high-performance camp designed to unlock the full potential of 14 elite players. From across Asia's developing golfing nations, they've come to Thailand to train with the best.
This is certainly an advantage for us just because we have learned so much from this academy, and with those lessons we can grow a lot as a person and as a player.
I feel very grateful actually that I get to meet so many girls, and the coaches have taught me so much throughout this week.
Supported by Samsung, this initiative provides a unique opportunity to learn from world-class coaches and specialists in sports science, psychology and nutrition. The goal? To prepare them for the challenges ahead, including the 2025 Women's Amateur Asia Pacific Championship.
We obviously have many countries that have, highly developed programs, but bringing some of the, the coaching information, the technology, the resources that the R&A have been able to put together is really going to help certainly our next level of countries really get to the highest level.
I really like how these 13 girls this week who flew from different corners of the world, the younger ones look up to the more senior, more talented players, and it could be vice versa, so I think they really learn from each other.
Yeah, that took place in Thailand at the end of the year, and it's interesting, you see Varada there, Nira Patpong, who's involved with the Thailand team. So Gareth Jones, the high-performance coach for Japan as well. You were talking about what Korea has, but it's an opportunity, isn't it, for some of the nations that don't have all those facilities to tap into that expertise.
It is, and it's being around like-minded elite players. They're not messing around with the golf swing. They're giving them that extra inch, that extra percentage to get better and better.
There's another look at birdie coming up, as it is for Seojin Park here.
She moves to 8 under par, inside the top 10 now.
Wong standing firm.
Middle right pin must carry it all the way here. Oh, it does. Do you see how she just caught the grain, the down grain there? If it had been slightly more to the left, it would have stuck. This green sits diagonally across you.
Tough.
Sorry, Richard, and you do not want to be here. 100-yard shot from the sand.
So from sand to sand goes Su Min Hong. Didn't make that birdie at 10, now struggling here at 11. We still have 4 or 5 contenders for this Women's Amateur Asia Pacific, although it doesn't look like Janeith Wong's going to hit reverse gear anytime soon. She's only had 3 bogeys and 1 double bogey so far this week. Very few errors. She was talking in the interview yesterday with Verada how, you know, the strategy is fairways and greens. She wasn't going to stray from that either. Su Min Oh, rather more aggressive player, but hasn't been able to make the most of those opportunities. Super 66, by the way, from Leon Higo. She opened up with a 65. Maybe just the 2 rounds in between 72 and 74 on this past 71. Kept her away from really challenging for the title, but that's an impressive performance from the 22-year-old Australian. Talking of Australians.
Touch there by Jazzy. She's got all the moves. Now these fairways at Hoyana Shores Golf Club, they are vast, but if you miss them, then things can go crooked, and that is what Su Min Hong has done here. Left off the tee, into sand, now right of the green, into sand. Landing point is so important here on a downslope. This hole is only 366 yards, and it's proving difficult there for the player that's coming third. She is 3 back.
Just starting to run out of holes, Jin Seo Yang, although 12 is not really one where you're thinking birdie. Take your 3 and run, really. Looks like exactly what she's going to do.
We've only seen 1 birdie on this 12th hole today.
Yeah, playing nearly half a shot over its par. Hardest hole on the course. Much easier par 3 is 14.
108 yards downwind, flick with a wedge. Got a nice balance to it, this golf course. There is 5 par 3s, but there is some variation in them. And this is a good visual to see the slope which blocks out the lantern from the fairway, and which is why Wong has taken it long and left. The Malaysian started the day with a 3-shot lead.
Well, they've got to try and come at her, really. She doesn't looking like she's going to wobble. Just trying to tick those holes off. The lead remains 2 for now, although there is an opportunity, an outside one, for Su Min Oh to maybe make some inroads here. Tapping birdie at that 11th for Liu. Here she is now at 12.
There's chances on 13, 14 and 15. Those play all under par.
A couple of times over the last few days she's moved to the top of the leaderboard. In fact, this time yesterday she was alongside Jeanette Wong. But if you look at the scoring on the back nine, Wong has been the stronger.
Went for it.
Yeah, that has gone on a fair distance as well.
And all those missed birdie putts where you've come up shy, suddenly you stand over this one downhill. Actually, as it hits the lip, it picks up more pace. You do not want an unforced error on the 11th hole on a Sunday afternoon.
Well, work for her part. Certainly worked for Hong, who's been struggling all the way down this 11th hole.
Talking of unforced errors, it's been that down the 11th for Hong. This to save the day, left to right. Well, that is going to be a second bogey of the day. She falls back to level par and is 4 back now.
Start of the day 7 back, still 6 adrift. Ying Shu.
Six under par has you inside the top 20 at the moment. Fujimoto looking to change that stat for her. Good start to the back nine. Now, she was working on her putting going into her third round yesterday, so there wasn't much to work on. It's just that I'm having trouble with these greens. Race the first putt by, setting this one up into the heart of the hole.
Yeah, and that's neatly done. Okay, little fist pump there, important. This is a player that won the World Junior Championships in Canada just a few months ago, back in October. Won that by 8 shots. 4 really big events she won last year. That was amongst them. And she did that front running. This time she's trying to chase and heading off next to the very tricky par 3 12.
It's played the hardest hole on the golf course all week. 0.5 over its par, and it's the longest par 3 on the golf course. 195 yards, and that's because of that back left pin. We've had 1 birdie here today. I nearly said all week because that's pretty much what it feels like. The wind will be moving from right to left as well. And you're talking hybrids, but it's the green as well. You can hit this green and quite easily 3-putt. It's the most 3-putted green on the golf course. Sumin Hong, she bogeyed this hole yesterday.
Be Sumin Oh who will be first to play here. She's played this hole this week also in 1 over par.
And the trouble is, if you do go at the lantern, you can catch the downslope like 15 yards short left of it, and it can kick hard down from left to right, and you can miss the green, so you do have to play away from it.
Father Huanqi helping out here for trying to judge the wind.
Well, last time I was with Somin in person over in Korea, It was at the BMW LPGA Championship, and I was watching her in a practice round, and she nearly got a hole in one, and there was a lovely car behind her, and I said, save that for Thursday or Sunday, you know, when the tournament's on. And she said, I've already won a car this year. So she'd won a car in a professional event, and obviously we've been waxing lyrical about how young she is. She ended up giving it to her dad.
Well, she's only 16, so not legal to drive.
Longest dying in the bag here for O, but I didn't know amateurs could win cars, but I think things have changed, hasn't they? I mean, I tell you what, talent certainly changed. Look at this for a golf swing. But she's starting this middle of the green. Long iron. And she's in between there. I think you could take a head cover off and hit a hybrid, but then you're bringing that tweaked left into play, so safely on the green.
Not to be for shoot. As you see, hybrid it is for Jeanette Wong here. She has been the queen of the par threes. All pars so far this week at this one.
And if there has been a bad shot, it's been that one.
And the ball hadn't stopped there. That was actually, I think, has come off that short grass area and into the area where there is some tufts of grass there. You can see she's right up against it. That is going to be really awkward for her. Would have made a difference if it had stayed on that short grass.
Yeah, we saw that shot on 18, we've seen it on 9 and now on 12. Hong also with hybrid. The leader's in trouble. Oh, and she's done the same. Followed the lead.
Although she has stayed on that short grass. Big difference, real problems coming up for Jeanette Wong. Seojin Park, the first round leader. Stays at 8 under. Kind of been questioning why there hasn't been a Korean champion at the Women's Amateur Asia Pacific. This year's been the first year where really there's been a real gang of them up there. 6 Koreans in the field, and 4 of them right now are, or I should say 5 of them right now are inside the top 10.
Well, sorry, they've got some stardust, haven't they? The 3 that we've seen most of, Yang being that 3rd member, were the ones that won the World Girls Championship in Canada at the end of last year. There's a crop that are pulling each other through.
Well, there's some real stars in town, including an All Blacks legend. Richie McCaw's been in town. He's looking forward to this championship being in New Zealand next year.
It's amazing to be here at the Women's Amateur Asia Pacific Championship. Awesome venue. It's my first time to Vietnam, and amazing golf course, and just seeing the opportunity for, I guess, amateurs to play in a big tournament like this with a huge reward at the end if they do well. Yeah, it's a real privilege to be here. My involvement with ISPS Handa is, I guess, to help show the great stuff that Dr. Handa and his foundation do. His philosophy is that the power of sport has the ability to change communities, change lives, and I guess my involvement in sport over the years, you can see that. So to help support and all the different projects he supports is a thing that I really enjoy doing. My golf has quite a lot of work to be done on it, to be fair, but over the last year started to put a little bit of time, slowly getting better. My handicap's still 17, but you can have some really good holes, but then there's some pretty rough holes, so it's a matter of trying to eliminate those. But I really enjoy it. You might get some footage of how bad I actually am, but maybe in a year's time, when the tournament comes to Wellington, I might be able to say I'm a little bit better. It's hugely special to have the WAAP coming to Wellington in New Zealand, my home country. It's a great course, and I think they'll have it set up amazingly for this tournament next year. But just to have it in New Zealand and give, I guess, local ladies in New Zealand a chance to play in a big tournament as amateurs will be amazing. So yeah, hopefully I'll be able to get along and see it.
Yeah, you can put him down into legend status. And that was the problem for Janeith Wong, getting any kind of control from that lie. And now she's on the wrong level. It's going to be a tough two-putt from down there, Sophie.
It is, but she had the look of, I have to get this onto the green. I can't afford to leave it short and have it roll back down to almost where I started. Let's see how much easier it is from the fairway.
Oh. Really nicely played, but that's the big difference from where she finished to where Wong's ball was.
The Victorian, Jazzy Roberts, right to left, birdie try on 13.
Well, we've talked about how Janeith Wong has been the queen of the par threes. She just played them so well all week, 6 under par. But some issues here. She has had a bogey this week on a par 3. That came at the 17th on day 2. And if you're Sumino here, you just want to just roll this one up tight and walk off with your 3 and leave it to the rest.
Easier said than done. Normally when you get a long par 3, the greens are gentle. The hardest thing is finding it, whereas this 12th hole, look at the undulation. Look where she's going to have to start this one. Slow, very slow, and then that last 6 feet goes downhill. So we've got a double breaker here for Oak.
Well, that is not what she was looking for. Pace was good, but completely the wrong line. Well, given Wong's issues, maybe there is some hope for the chasing pack if they can start making moves. Yang, though, has to settle for a par at 13. Currently 5 back. You would think this might threaten the hole. Think again.
Superb camera angle here. You see the drop in the valley where Wong is now. The elevation change, but as it gets up and over, it moves away quite quickly down from right to left.
Wonderful. That is superbly done. Limits the damage. Just a bogey. Well, you never know. I mean, hardly guaranteed the 3, are we, from Sumino? She might not lose any ground at the top.
Level par, back 9. Things are changing for Lou. Front 9, level par, back 9, 2 under. The smile returns, and the high fives routine has returned as well.
Yeah, the birdies are back for the 14-year-old from China. Well, we're probably going to say it a few times over this back 9 about the importance of these putts, the significance of them. The mistake here from Janeith Wong just opened the door slightly here for her closest challenger, Sumino, but it wasn't a good first putt. This is crucial now. This is a chance to get within one again.
Needs to make friends with this putter today. From right to left. Can hit this one firmly as well.
Vital. Excellent two-putt in the end. So the lead is now down to 1.
And the importance for her to see the ball roll into the hole. Not just a par putt, yeah, but it's picking that ball out.
Similar equation here for shoot. This also for par. Same result.
Why are they so much easier for par sometimes?
And on the theme, Soo-Min Hong's turn. There you go. Well, you know, that's a little pick-me-up for her as well. 4 back. She won't be giving up on it yet. A little bit of relief, I think, there for her too.
You know it's a good par. And this, as silly as it may sound, is actually going to be a good bogey. Tweaked it left off the tee and it went down into some bushes and manages to get it onto the green. And I think you can give yourself a break if you do happen to bogey the 12th hole.
Yeah.
Nearly picked that one out of the hole before it actually got there. Jeanette Wong. Pressure is building though, and the gap has tightened. Off to the par 3 14th.
Left tee box to a right pin, 108 yards. This is where our leaders are at the moment. Tee box of 13, dogleg from left to right. You can carry the bunker on the right-hand side at 220 yards. The wind is down, landing in the fat part of the fairway. Flag today, 18 on, 9 from the left-hand side. So in that pocket, take it to the right of the hole and have it feed down. Playing under par today, this 13th. Wants to start it on the right half of the bunker that we see. Second bunker on the right-hand side. Driver for O. Oh, she's pulled that. Get down.
Yeah, no problem there. First time she's got within 1 today. It's as close as she's been to Jeanette Wong.
Ranked 62nd in the world, Yang. I don't know how. How is there 61 players better than her? Wind is from the left today. Needs it to go. Fly over that bunker on the right. Ooh, just. That wind's obviously freshening up because O tugged hers. She thought it was going to be into the bunkers that down the left-hand side and it held up. But if there has been one issue, Wong has tweaked a few down the left-hand side. Normal service has resumed.
Yeah, the backdrop of that impressive clubhouse, striking 6,000 metres squared clubhouse that can be seen from almost every hole here at Hoi An Shores. Roberts looking to tuck one in close here at 14, and she's done just that. Another of the contenders right now in that share of third place, the Australian alongside Soo-Min Hong. Jeanette Wong The Malaysian with a 3-shot lead overnight. That has, with her bogey at 12, been reduced to just a single stroke. .66 is the best effort of the day so far. 67 from Ariana Lau. That leaves her and Leon Higo just outside the top 10. But the Women's Amateur Asia Pacific isn't just a showcase of top amateur golf. It's also an event that highlights the diversity and development of refereeing in the region. And this week, we've got 8 guest referees from across Asia representing India, Korea, Mongolia, the Philippines, and Vietnam, a testament to the growing reach of the game. A particularly significant moment for Vietnamese golfers. 2 referees from the Vietnam Golf Association have taken part in officiating this prestigious championship. So back to the action, where we can catch up again with the efforts of Yujie Liu. She's getting better every year. 32nd in Singapore in 2022, 22nd last year, and right now in a share of 6th place. Seojin Park now. Good effort there over at the 16th hole, where the sea very much comes into view. These are now must-make putts for the likes of Jazzy Roberts. Hole starting to run out. She's got it. Well, her mum, Shara, was saying how she keeps cool, doesn't show her emotions when playing. You wouldn't know she's just made birdie, would you? You wouldn't know when she's made bogey. Into 3rd place on her own now, the player from Bendigo in Victoria.
2nd into 15. All over it. There's some aggressive golf in these final few holes.
This also for birdie. Just caught the right edge. So up to 12 under. 4 holes left to play for Yun Seo Yang. The final 3 ball over on the 13th. Janeth Wong with this 1-shot advantage.
Wind from left to right here with the approach shot for Wong. There is a downslope from the front edge of the green to this pin that needs to be considered. And negotiated. What an unbelievable shot that is. Oh, she's... I mean, you know the slope's there, but to land it on it. Look at this, the start line is straight at it. Little nudge off the cushion.
Well, that could come off the slope as well for Hong. And she'll have a birdie look as well. I mean, given what just happened on the previous hole, given that the lead was back down to 1, magnificent, that approach from Janeth Wong. And now it's up to Su Min Oh to respond in kind.
And Wong is first to play, has been the shortest, but she's coming in with mid-irons. Wong is just deciding which wedge to hit, so that downslope, it's not as big a deal for her. She can just slide across it from left to right, but needs to get this one in tight. 1 back.
Well, it's a decent effort, but compared to Janeth Wong's, it looks rather ordinary. Off the back of that birdie at 14. Roberts now at 15. She's within 2. Although given where Wong is, that might be 3 in a moment.
Looking anxiously down the left-hand side there. We'll have to wait and see.
Kobayashi coming towards the end of her round. And coming down nicely as well. Shot 66 yesterday. She's got to 3 under par for the round today.
Dogleg right to left this 15th hole towards the short.
Yuzha Ren has got her birdie as well. The China amateur champion moves to 8 under par. Was the youngest winner in the China LPGA history when she won a year ago at the age of 14, but that has now been usurped. She actually beat a player in a playoff, Young Han Pan, who was 41, old enough to be a mother. One of the oldest players on the tour, beaten by one of the youngest. It was quite incredible, really. But it's been a good week for the Korean players, been a good week for the Chinese players, but at the moment, it's still a Malaysian on top, and given that approach, it doesn't look like Janeth Wong's going anywhere.
It was a gutsy approach, wasn't it? He mentioned the bogey on 12, and then to step up and take that shot on. Oh, still has a look here, though, at birdie, but almost the worrying thing is for O that she's only level par from the holes 12 to 18 this week, and someone of her length, especially the par 5 18th, is just something that she hasn't quite got the hang of.
And it is worth noting, and I know today is Sunday, but every single day Janeth Wong has played the final 4 holes of her round in 3 under par, albeit one of those days was coming through holes 6 to 9, but still she has finished every day in fine fashion.
It's a confidence building stat, isn't it? Hold a good par putt on 12, has to have this mindset. We'll take it between the ball marker and the hole here from right to left for a 3. Oh, it wiggled the other way, just not enough pace on it.
She did find the sand here at 15, Roberts. And just as she gave herself hope of winning this championship with that birdie at 14, it quickly slips through her fingers here at 15.
And it's highlighting the fact that if you do miss these fairways, this is what can happen. It looks plain sailing at the moment for this last 3 ball, but I think Hong's even showed off the tee. You miss these fairways, it's not easy.
Hasn't had a birdie since the 2nd hole. She's got one now in the nick of time. Knew that Wong is red hot favourite to make her 3. Had to get that one in, Soo Min Hong.
So Jim Park gets herself to 2 under par for the day. -9. Looking to birdie the last to get into double digits.
Hasn't made many bogeys this week, but there's a response to 1 at 12. The advantage is 2 again for Janeth Wong. On the cusp of history here in Vietnam.
Well, you're going to make mistakes, but it's how you respond. And this is it. 13th hole, second shot. Landed it exactly where she needed to do. Sent a message there.
Shariah Sriwong, who finished third last year and is putting in another really good performance here in 2025. Up to 8 under par, which is at the moment in a share of 10th place.
They use a couple of tee boxes here on 14. We're now on the left-hand side. That's because the flag is cut on the right. It's probably the narrowest green, but it's still long. Good 50 yards from left to right. 108 yards to that pin. Wind down from left to right. The only issue you would have here is if you're trying to play a left to right shape with a lofted club, it is harder to do, and you can just tug it left and go kind of through the back left. It's so much easier to fade straight faced clubs rather than wedges.
Well, we're in for an exciting finish, aren't we, here at this Women's Amateur Asia Pacific. Can't quite say it's down to 2. Su Min Hong with that birdie at the last as well. Has probably made it 3. Jazzy Roberts in trouble at 15 has probably played her way out of things.
This caddy is brilliant, because Janice's throwing up grass and it's coming like into from the left, and she is going, no, it's left to right. And from our camera angle above, you could see the flags at the clubhouse and they were going left to right. So they're obviously a little bit sheltered in this spot here.
Just her second international tournament. The other was those World Junior Championships in Canada where you were talking about. She finished 13th behind the winner, who was Su Min Oh. 2 ahead at the halfway stage. She's 3 back now.
Pitching wedge. All over it.
Third now at this 15th for Roberts. It's another wonderful shot from Janice Wong. Just got to keep pushing forward, stay positive, stay aggressive. She's doing that so far.
Back into wind this 17th hole, the signature hole here. Nicely played. There's a shelf on that right-hand side where the flag is placed. So anything more than 6 yards left of this, it will run away down the slope back towards the middle of the green.
Just what was required from Su Min Oh. Well, we are in for a fabulous finish. Janice Wong standing firm, leading the way from the start of this final round. This for par for Jazzy Roberts. And that is a wonderful part. I mean, that's extraordinary. Saw the third, didn't we, from the waist area, come down the slope, and she rolls it in for par. I mean, keeps her maybe in with an outside chance.
Well, she found the bunker off the tee, tried to get it to the green, didn't, then pushed it out to the right, caught the slope, and then caught the hole. Sneaky little par there. She stays in third spot.
It's amazing, isn't it, what a putt can do? You're in trouble all the way down the hole. Thought the championship was slipping through her fingers, and she's given herself an inkling of a chance again. Yang coming up shy there.
Fujimoto put for a 2 to get to 8 under par. Yes.
I mean, it's asking a lot, isn't it, for Jazzy Roberts? She's going to need some help probably from Janice Wong, who's got another birdie putt to come, but you never know.
Well, she's the opposite to O, isn't she? Roberts loves this last 8 holes. She is bogey-free still, thanks to that long-range 50-foot par putt on the 15th hole. And there's no fear, is there? There's no handcuffs for Jazzy Roberts at the moment, whereas you just never know. You know, getting over the line is not easy.
Now, this is a player that has won some big amateur events. She's been based in Melbourne, Australia, since she was 10 years old. She won the Australian Masters of the Amateurs in 2022, also won the Australian Junior Amateur that year. Been based in Australia, but spent the last few years over in California, part of the Waves, Pepperdine University. Opportunity to get in first here for Janice Wong. Just the par.
Our first round leader.
Well, there have been times during this final round where there have been those opportunities for Su Min Hong and Su Min Oh from really close in to make birdies, and they haven't holed them. Think back to the 7th. Also the opportunity at 9. Hong for back-to-back birdies.
She's feeling it right now.
Well, she gets herself within 2 suddenly. The dance moves are coming out as well.
She's just appreciating she's using the whole of the hole as that ball goes in. And you see how she signalled to playing part in the Su Min Oh there. It's like Su Min Oh, it's got that twinkle in the eye. It's like, okay, your turn now. Got to move from right to left this one. Little signal there to Dad as if to say, I've got this one. 2 back at the moment.
Never looked like missing. A vital 3rd birdie of the day for Su Min Oh, and that lead has been reduced to 1 again. Four still in this.
Well, said she needed to make friends with her putter, and it's been that case over the last half an hour. Roberts, 16th tee box. Par 4 back into the wind.
Well, friendlier position than where she was at 15. Up on the green is Shu. Walking that one in.
Fifteenth hole, dogleg from right to left, back towards the East Sea. Wind today from left to right. The bunker, the pot bunker, not in play at 211 yards. We've seen a few players hit 3-wood off here. I do think you need to go after it and hit driver because of this back left pin. 49 yards long, this green. Hole location 42 on, 12 from the left-hand side. Dogleg right to left, and the green's a bit of a dogleg right to left as well.
Had a bit of everything here, hasn't she, so far? Su Min Hong a little bit worried about this one, but no problems at all.
Su Min Hong hit 3-wood here earlier in the week and made a right mess of it. That was the second round where she made bogey, zigzagged the way down this hole. Pushed it out to the right-hand side. Just checking the wind direction, I think, there. You can see the sand dunes on the left-hand side, so you can't feel that wind from left to right. Start line is over the front bunker.
Well, this is the part of the day where you do start feeling it, don't you? You've been up top all day long. You're being the one that everyone's aiming at.
She'd take a finish of yesterday, wouldn't she? 3 birdies in the last 4.
That's a good start. Thump that one down there. A lovely setting here by the ocean at 16. Wants this one to sit down.
From 100 yards, we'll be disappointed with that.
This to finish with 3 birdies in a row for Kurobayashi, not to beat, but a nice finish to the week, 68. She'll be off to the United States and Augusta National in a few weeks' time.
Buying everything in the shop. Now, Yang was under the weather yesterday, had a stomach complaint and didn't get to eat much, so battled her way around and is clearly feeling better today. Sending this one up into the wind. Just didn't come back.
So a par finish for Ijaren. 75 on day 2 did the damage. Super 64 yesterday, 11 shots better off. And another of the talented Chinese just about inside that top 10. But our focus is on the top of the leaderboard. Jazzy Roberts a long way away for birdie at 16. Didn't stop her from making par at 15, mind you. Su Min Hong on a bit of a roll. 2 birdies at 13 and 14 have got her in it. And that Su Min Oh birdie has got her back within 1. 66, the low score of the day. Mengan Lee and Leon Higo knocking it around in that number. 67 yesterday for Mengan Lee, so the 16-year-old Chinese has had a very nice weekend.
Final par 3 of the day, 17th hole, 131 yards. Ying using that side slope there.
Back towards the ocean here at 15. You see the Cham Islands in the distance.
.130 yards left in for Hong. Now this green whips around the sand dunes on the left-hand side. Everything folds from right to left. This looks like she's in a divot here. 122 yards to the pin. Wants to start it at the TV tower.
She's done really well there.
Would have been so easy to catch that one fat. Trapped it and got it back to that flag.
Very different angle here for Su Min Oh, who just caught a little bit of a slope there, coming from the right side of this fairway.
Plays more back into the wind this second shot.
Well, almost equidistant there, the top 2. Well, back 9, it's all been going on. Janeth Wong has been out there all day long. And she started the back 9 in fine fashion, par 5 10th. Made sure of her birdie with that approach.
Su Min Oh nearly hit the green, 543 yards. We thought, oh no, you've left this one short. But hang on a minute. She would knock that one in for birdie as well.
So they traded birdies off to the par 3 12th, and a little unlucky maybe to finish there after missing the green, and in the end a decent 2-putt from down on the wrong level from Janeth Wong just to make a bogey 4. So the 2-shot lead with this par putt was reduced to 1, but back came Wong at 13.
And if she wins it, it'll be this shot which she will remember. Couldn't have landed it any better. A tap-in birdie, a bounce-back birdie to get her to 16 under.
Leading by 2 again. Su Min Hong had dropped a shot at 11, seemed out of it, but she birdied 13, and then this tee shot at 14 got her back within 2.
Su Min Oh looking to respond also with a wedge. Just pushing it down that right-hand side.
Yeah, setting herself up for the birdie opportunity as well. One that she would make to get it back to within 1 once again. So here we are on the 15th green. Birdie putts to come from Wong and Oh, just off the putting surface here. Su Min Hong, but we'll move a hole further ahead.
Threw the wedge onto the wrong level. Lovely roll down the slope there. We'll tap that one in for par.
Just off the green, but a birdie putt nonetheless for Su Min Hong.
I don't think I've seen a flat putt on these greens before. Took Hong by surprise also.
Seojin Park here. Seojin Park, the junior, I think we should call her. I think she's 16, the other one is 17.
To get within 3. Well, I think we can say that that's Yang running out of holes now.
It's going to be Su Min Oh to putt first here for the birdie. This is to join Janeth Wong at the top at 16 under.
It's been a steady round of 3 under par. We haven't seen any fireworks on the greens from Oh. It's been when she's hit it in tight that she's converted. This would be a moment right now to make one.
She's got it. And she is timing the run to perfection. Janeth Wong has company for the first time today at the top.
Just proved to herself she can do this.
Wow. Janeth Wong hasn't done much wrong, but there she is now. Tied at the top at 16 under. Just the 3 birdies from her today. Couple of drop shots. And still could step to the next tee with the lead on her own if she can roll this one in.
She must have wondered when it was going to come. It's been the 15th hole where one of these have put some pressure on it. A chance to respond now.
We have parity. 3 holes left to play, and maybe more at the Women's Amateur Asia Pacific.
Lacking some conviction on those putts, which is totally understandable considering where we are in this championship.
This went in with authority.
This was sent home.
Well, we know she's a special player, a real talent. Su Min Oh, you don't get to 9th in the world rankings for nothing. Well, Hong has this to keep herself very interested, to stay within 2.
A trio of birdies for Hong. She is only 1 back. Oh, that was a par. Sorry. 16th hole. 346 yards. Plays into the wind from right to left. The decision is, do you take driver down that left-hand side of the fairway, but then brings that bunker into play, or do you lay up with a 3-wood? A small green at only 36 paces long, flag 19 on, 8 from the right. 2 steps to this green. The high side is on the right, low side on the left. So second shot certainly plays more into the wind. And it looks like that this is a fairway wood for Su Min Oh. 240 is the maximum if you do happen to push it down the right-hand side, but that wind is coming into from the right as her father signals.
Well, for the first time today, she gets herself where she wants, and then she misses the fairway like that. Looks like she may have got away with it. Seems to be sitting all right.
.132 yards left for Roberts, wind into. Flag on the left. With her compatriot in trouble, Hong's taken driver.
There's plenty of feeling in those practice swings, plenty of speed in them. Teed this one up high. She's looking a little worried as well, but there's no problem over there.
Big fairway to miss, isn't it, by O, that?
Well, that's how things look. Closing stages at Hoi An Shores. Vietnam, the setting for this 2025 Women's Amateur Asia Pacific. Su Min Oh and Janeth Wong tied at the very top. It's been a terrific week. Still not sure which way this one's going to go. Roberts with an outside chance for birdie at 17.
From the Victorian to the Queenslander, Sarah Hammett for eagle on 18. That would have been a finish.
Kelsey Bennett finished runner-up a few years ago. That's the best finish there has been from an Australian player. Hammett should finish in the top 10 with this round of 68. Started the weekend at level par.
Yang moves to 13 under par with a hat-trick of birdies. She's bogey-free today, -5.
Seojin Park for her birdie, not to be. So she'll finish at 9 under par. The other Seojin Park, by the way, birdied the final 2 holes for a 67 and has finished at 10 under par. It's been a good battle between the two of them, hasn't it, to see who would be the top Seojin Park. There you can see 7th place after that 67 for the 16-year-old. 68 from Krachania Kalpatanaskun to also finish in that share of 9th place. Yeah, we've seen some really fabulous golf from these talented young players. When it's a super setting, isn't it, on the east coast of Vietnam, just south of Hoi An, in this fishing village in the Quang Nam province. Safely on the fairway for co-leader Janeth Wong, her co-leader in the wasteland area down that left side.
$119 yards left to a right pin. Wind into from the right here for Wong.
Well, on the wrong level over there, but safely on board. Could have been worse.
100 yards to the front edge. Angle's okay. Lie looks decent as well. 119 pin. She struck that well.
That is a very satisfactory result, which is getting a little bit better for Su Min Oh. And a decent birdie looks coming up.
Just couldn't be short of it, because then it would all roll away. Hong from 110. Wedge.
We shouldn't dismiss her just yet, Su Min Hong.
Par 5, 18th hole. Yang with driver. Find the fairway, you can go for this in two.
Well, she is in position to do just that. That's a booming drive. On a run again on this closing stretch, Ying Shu, off the back of 3 successive birdies.
Could see an eagle. We'll definitely see a fist pump. Smash that drive, Roberts. Skips through the bunkers on 18, and just the difference upon taking it down the left-hand side with Yang, you get the fast track, and down the right-hand side, that's almost stuck itself in reverse.
So 16th green, Janeth Wong to putt first here.
It's a view that on a normal day you would take a moment and look out. Not right now. Wong will have a slippery left to right putt. Back down towards this pin. Has been tentative sometimes on her putts, but that wouldn't be an issue on this one. This 16th green, she's at the back end of it, raised up, it drops down. Be some movement from left to right also.
That needs to steady down. Mistake from Janeth Wong. You can really sense the tension right now. Been one eagle here today so far. That came from Vivian Liu. Well, she's under pressure, you feel, Janeth Wong. And the two Korean players here maybe ganging up a little bit on her, it feels like. Soo-min Hong made a real mess of this hole yesterday. You thought when she made double bogey here yesterday, Soo-min, that maybe her chances were gone, really. But she responded with a birdie at 17 and a double and an eagle at 18. And suddenly she was back within 3 heading into this final round. For the first time today, Soo-min Oh has a putt to take the outright lead. Well, it will be just a par, but she knows Wong is hardly guaranteed her 4, and given where her tee shot finished, not a bad par, really.
And look at the difference in facial expressions there. Soo-min is kind of, enjoying that one. Oh, it's just a slight misread, that, Dad, but I hit a good putt. See what the tension will be like for Wong. And Hong's similar, isn't she? She kind of danced one in on the par 3 14th.
Just to get her within 1.
Must hit this one. Slower than you think.
Pick it out of the hole. It is very much a 3-way race for the title. 15 under par, 3 birdies in 4 holes. Those moves are getting bigger. This for 4 in a row to finish. What a pity. It's going to be a 3-putt. Should be the best ever finish by a Chinese player at the Women's Amateur Asia Pacific, with that share of 4th Asting stand for Ying Xu. But the focus and the pressure is firmly on the shoulders here of Janeth Wong.
This putt to remain in the lead. Inside right for par.
That was gutsy. Oh, she'll feel a whole lot better after that. Breathe a little easier.
The stress levels. Needs to turn. Well, it looks like an easy leave from a 2D television, but that is not for Jazzy. The easiest hole on the golf course, playing half a shot under its par, the par 3 17th, 131 yards, a horseshoe green flag on the left-hand side. It's a similar pin to what we saw on the 3rd round. Back into the wind.
2 holes left to play. 3 players separated by just a single shot. Who's it going to be?
Well, birdie, bogey, birdie, but I'd be looking at round 3 because, as I suggested, this hole location is in the same spot. Nice set there. Deep breath, raise the shoulders and then settle down into this 1-3-1, but there's a good 10 yards of into from the left. So play it 1-4-5.
Yang just birdied that 17th hole. Flew it all the way at 18.
That's on the putting green. The putting green shares the 18th green there. We've seen some crazy golf.
Yeah, that's going to be fun for Yang.
You can't see this, well, the bottom of this lantern. It's down that left-hand side here. Just has to trust it. There is 9 yards left of it, believe it or not.
Well, she's been feeling the pressure all day, but maybe a little spring in the step after holding that vital putt at 16 for Wong.
It's a good pin for Janeith. Likes to see the ball fall to the left-hand side.
Magnificent. Well, what a few minutes it's been for Janeith Wong. It looked like the lead might be slipping out of her hands. She's just claiming it back in supreme style. It's all very well the shot suiting you. It's another thing delivering.
It's all about moments. Everyone can hit the shot, but can you do it when it counts?
Well,
Wong still doesn't know how good this is, you know. She still doesn't know how close it is. I can't wait to see her face. She's almost running to the front edge of that green. She's looking down going, be really close, be really close. I don't want to have to mark this.
It's been a terrific effort this week from Jazzy Roberts. Well, she can just walk up and tap this one in. So close to an ace. She's got a bit of support out there. Sure, some of her teammates who made the weekend and finished there around Ziyu Feng and Hiji Pang are out there supporting her. It's the simplest of twos, and she's back in front on her own. There is a birdie putt still to come for Su Min-woo, but she will lead heading to 18. And would that tee shot at 17 happen without this putt at 16?
The clutch par save. The sternness in the look when that goes in. And then on to 17. As soon as it comes off the club face, somebody says, good shot. online. Distance isn't too bad either. Remember, this is the 71st hole at the biggest championship in Asia and Pacific golf for these amateurs.
Well, because as she was on the practice putting green, she did get a free drop into that free drop zone there, and as a result she has made the most of it and should make a birdie to finish. And what's been a really good day for Yang, she'll have that putt coming up for a round of 66. Well, she's started to find the feel with this putter. She's behind again.
Has got to go back to the well again. She holed a good one on the last hole. There's more break in this. Moving from left to right on her. So hard to start that high enough. Steepness of that slope from the back edge.
Up on the 18th green. Yujia Liu. Well, no drop shots today. Just the 2 birdies. Remember, she had 10 in that 64 in round 3. But here's a player who could well, in the future, be putting her hands on that trophy at this Women's Amateur Asia Pacific.
Well, if Hong is to do what you've just said, this one's got to go. 2 shots back. That bogey on 11, you thought you might be out of it, but 3 birdies since, this for a 4th on the back 9. How does it not?
Well, she eagled the 18th yesterday, so the chances aren't over yet. 2 back going down the last. Roberts for birdie.
The 20-year-old finishes with an up and down and a round of 66. The top Australian in the field this week.
Yeah, she'll be off to play in that Ladies European Tour event next week in fine fettle, with hopes of maybe upstaging the professionals. A little bit of tidying up to do here for Sumino before heading to the last. One back, 1 to play. Like Roberts, it's a birdie finish for a 66, and Yun Seo Yang makes it 3 Koreans inside the top 5.
And I'm sure she'll be waiting at the back of this 18th green to see if one of them can win it. Forward tee, 545 yards, wind from right to left. Take it down the left and you catch a runway, and it really does speed on down there. All 3 of these players will be hoping that they do not have to lay up. If you found the traps off the tee, then you've got to take it down the right-hand side. That flag on the right today, and there's a steep slope. There's 2 tiers to this green down the right-hand side, and the flag sits on top of that. But first up, hit the fairway, one with driver.
She's buzzing again. Well, got to do what she did yesterday. Make eagle, hope for the best. But you're not going to make eagle from over there. We saw Soo Min Oh in that position on Friday. She took 2 to get out of that bunker. She cannot afford to do what her Korean teammate has just done.
Has birdied 2 out of the 3 par 5s so far today. Hits the fairway, she can go for this green in 2.
A lot of hang time in this one. She has flown that. Game on. All to play for down the 72nd hole at Hoi Anna Shores. She'll feel like she's been out there a long time. A lot of pressure. Everyone sort of throwing everything at you. I mean, she'll be feeling great, Sophie, won't she, after what's happened at 16 and 17?
She will, and there was a time where you thought she looked nervy, didn't you? The tee shot on 9 and then into 12. It was going down the left-hand side, and the shot into 13 was like proof in the pudding to herself. I think when you get to this point, the only thing that stops you from winning is doubt, because you're playing very, very well. And you just have to start hitting golf shots. You have to stand up and hit golf shots at certain times. And she's done that now, so she's proved that to herself. Got 1 hole left to play. She knows that O can get to this green in 2. She has to expect that there will be a birdie from O. So now she's got to work out, how do I play this golf hole and make a birdie for myself? Take O out the equation and think, how am I going to make a 4? Is she long enough off the tee to go for it? But she's first to play, so she can set the tone here on 18.
Looking to make history as the first Malaysian champion of this big event. And just to remind you what awaits the winner here today, the trophy, along with the Rai Vaidi Champions Medal, teeing it up in the majors at the Chevron Championship, which isn't far away, the Evian Championship in France and the AIG Women's Open, the big amateur events, the Augusta National Women's Amateur, the amateur that'll be at Nairn as well later this summer, the Women's Amateur, plus a couple of professional events in Australia and Korea.
Sign me up. Can I play?
Well, you know you need to make eagle, and then you put your tee shot here. And despite all her best efforts, apart from kind of a miracle hole out, well, she's taking it on. I suppose she's got to, really.
Her playing partner, Soo Min, hit hybrid from here earlier in the week. It hit the face and came back to her. It's 220 yards to the front edge. The carry over the trap, I don't think's on. as in the one that's in front of her, so she has to play down that right-hand side towards the TV tower. It's the shallowest part of the bunker as well. It's a good pick-up. Is it enough to carry everything? We'll have to wait and see. She's got outside of 200 yards to the front edge. Fairway wood in hand, Wong second.
Well, her caddy is applauding already. Yeah, left it in a nice spot. Sumino, though, can get there.
O's hit a 300-yard tee shot down 18. But Wong's hit 2 of her Sunday best as well, so it's not like she's going to be feeling any worse for it. She just has to see what O does and expect that she's going to make birdie at least.
Father Huang Qi by her side. He knows what she's capable of. We have seen some wonderful shots into par 5s from her this week as well. You go back to yesterday's at 10. Only iron in hand. Adrenaline will be pumping.
The longest iron in her bag, the wind into from right to left. Going for this par 5 into O.
Oh my goodness. Eagle putt incoming at 18 for Sumino.
She knew, didn't she? She knew she was feeling good about herself there. If she'd have hit hybrid, landed it on the top edge, it would have bounded through into the practice putting green. Oh, she's enjoying this. She wants to be world #1 in the world professionally. And the game is there, and we are in for a fight here on the 18th hole. She is 1 back, has got an eagle look. Wong's just short of the green.
Well, Gino Titicut has been to world #1. She was the inaugural champion of this Women's Amateur Asia Pacific. Yuka Yasuda, Mizuki Hashimoto, Tiffany Huang, Ella Galitsky and Chan Wei-U, the other champions of this already in its only 7th edition prestigious championship. It looks now like it's a battle between Sumino here and Janeth Wong, the student at Pepperdine University, up against the world #9.
Oh, Hong didn't carry the bunker.
Third bunker of the 80, well, I say bunker, they're not officially bunkers. Third different bit of sand on this 18th hole for Su Min Hong. Well, what she's got to do is try and knock this in tight and say to Sumino, you make yours.
She has to keep reminding herself, this is what she expected on 18. Her strengths are hitting the greens in 2 on par 5s. That's what O's done. Wong's strength is getting her approach shots close. So that's what she's got to do here. Flags on 22 yards. So she's paced it out. What she got to the front edge. It's a steep upslope that she's going to have to face that blocks this flag. Do you chip and run? Do you land it into the slope? Do you take it all the way? There's 3 options. Just pick the right one.
Well, I'm sure Dad Kenneth, Mum Melanie and her younger sister Hannah are watching intently right now. Coming up, potentially the biggest shot of Jeanette Wong's life. That'll do. Impressive, as she has been throughout the week.
Playing to her strengths, staying in her lane.
Well, it's not a guaranteed birdie, but it's a very good look. Su Min Oh will be thinking she is going to make that, which means she needs to roll in her eagle putt here. Let's have another look, Sophie.
It would be easy to leave this one short. See how she sticks it into the slope there. She's got 3 yards between that hole and the slope, taking it back towards the front of the green. And when you are nervous trying to hit landing spots, I tell you, it's difficult. This is the angle. Look at that. Look at the control.
Look at the reaction
Look at
from
the
her
celebration.
She's getting excited, so she should. Being alongside her all week long. And there were times this weekend where we thought it might be Su Min Hong, but she can do no better than a par here at 18.
A par keeps her in 3rd place.
Well, here we go. The 16-year-old Korean who has been the highest ranked player in the field, given Rhian Melixi's absence all week long, has given herself a look for what would be a dramatic eagle here. I don't think there's going to be any problem in getting this ball to the hole.
Just drops in, doesn't it? She's on that high side down the left and steep slope down to the hole. At this point, you have got to visualize what that golf ball is going to do. See it tracking. See it play out before you hit it. And then once you get over it, settle and just be fully committed.
What a wonderful effort. It will be a birdie. She will mark it. It may be 1 shot short, but a great effort from Su Min Oh. Right now it's down to this for the championship and for all the riches victory at this Women's Amateur Asia Pacific can bring. Malaysia has its first champion at the Women's Amateur Asia Pacific. Janeeth Wong, resolute, steadfast, unwavering. What a performance.
Those last 6 holes. And then to birdie 17 and 18. That is how you win the biggest championship of your life. The Women's Amateur Asia Pacific 2025 champion, Janeeth Wong. You can breathe a sigh of relief. You played it your own way and you came out on top.
Well, they threw everything at her, up against 2 Korean powerhouses in Soo-Min Hong, who will finish in 3rd place at 15 under par. And Soo-Min Oh will have to settle for 2nd for the 3rd year runner-up, a runner-up spot for a Korean player. When she birdied 14 and 15, you thought, here we go. It's a birdie finish in around a 66, but it's not enough, because Janeeth Wong has just changed her 2025 big time. It's big for her. It's big for Malaysian golf as well.
I'm so happy. You want to drink or not? Congrats! Oh my god.
Well done. Well done. Well done. Well done. All right, man. Let's go, Janeeth.
The Malaysian pocket dynamite, as she's known, has just made history here in Vietnam. She will now become just the 3rd Malaysian player to tee it up at the AIG Women's Open. She'll be off to Texas. First of all, she's going off to Augusta National as well. She'll be off to Evian in France. She'll get to play the ISPS Handa Australian Open at the end of the year too, along with the Hana Financial Group Championship in Korea. It is going to be some journey, and she deserves every step of it.
Got a 3-shot lead coming in today, and you know, the start level par through 3 holes. She's out in level, but she's playing against 2 Koreans really today. Let's be fair, those 2 were trying to bring her back, and she just kept holding off. She looked a little bit nervous at the turn and then just dug in on that back 9. I think her experience really paid off, the 20-year-old, and someone's got to be the first. Someone's got to be the first Malaysian to win this, and she's that. She's going to play well on those links golf courses, I tell you. Tidy short game, but I think what's impressed me so much this week is her precision with her approach play.
Yeah, when you think about how she has played on the sandbelt courses, she has grown up pretty much in Australia. She's won the Women's Club Championship at Metropolitan Golf Club 5 years in a row. She'll enjoy Royal Porth course. She'll enjoy Nairn as well. She gets to play the Women's Amateur too. Things have just changed big time. I mean, she's still got her studies to do in amongst it as well at Pepperdine University. I'm sure they've stayed up late in California to see her victorious there.
But it's winning this, but it's what she's going to take away is how she won it. The shot into 13, we thought that was the shot of the day, but oh no, she waited until the 71st hole to hit the shot of her life.
Yeah, and that was set up by that par save at 16 as well, because suddenly the lead looked like it was slipping through her fingers. But no, the story turns out to be just the one that she dreamt of. Janeeth Wong winning by 1 shot, a final round 68. Good enough to see her finish at 18 under par and 1 ahead of Soo-Min Oh. Korea in positions 2, 3 and 4. With Yu Tsiang alongside Jabby Roberts after they both finished with rounds of 66. I mean, this was far from straightforward.
A 50-yard pitch shot, had the upslope to contend with, stuck it in there, and then left it below the hole, knowing that Sumin's going to make birdie at least, and then this right to lefter.
Well, when she putts, she looks at the hole. She knew where that one was heading. Relief, joy, so many emotions. And the 20-year-old Malaysian, who we'll hear, has got that slight Aussie twang to her voice, makes another and most important birdie of the week. Absolutely sensational. 4 rounds in the 60s as well. That shouldn't be missed. Rounds of 65, 69, 64 and 68. And there are her Malaysian teammates to join in on the celebrations.
A few of the Aussies as well. Ever the professional, trying to keep that scorecard dry, holding it out. But she won it, didn't she? You know, there was a time where he thought, well, is it going to be a mistake that makes somebody win this championship? But no, she went out there and she won it coming home.
Yeah, some really good performances in there. In the end, it's with that missed par putt, Ying Shu settles for 6th place, which equals the best ever from a Chinese player. Jazzy Roberts dug in well over the weekend to finish in a share of 4th place. But the champion will be heading off to the scorers tent now to just make sure everything's done procedurally correctly before she gets her hands on the trophy.
And the last few of these have not been particularly close coming in, haven't they? So it was good to see that battle unfold on this back 9. And what a golf course that we've had here in Vietnam.
It was far from straightforward, and you've got to give credit to Su Min Hong and Su Min Oh for making a fight. She dropped a shot at 12 and, you know, things had tightened up. She still was 1 shot ahead at this point.
She's always hitting him first. She's the shorter of the 3. But that there, and then the conversion of this par putt on 16 just kept the momentum going.
Yeah, that set her up nicely. She has had a hole-in-one back in 2022 in her only other women's amateur Asia Pacific. She had an ace. Thought she was going to have another then, but it made birdie and it meant the lead coming into the final hole. Su Min Oh on the green in 2, and she did this.
Knocked it in tight, applied the pressure.
And then the putt that means so much.
They've been on a journey together this week, those two. They've been a great partnership. The pocket dynamites, I'm going to call those two now. That's the nickname of Janice. These two just took on the world this week.
There's a few tears flowing, I think, there. Yeah, magnificent. Magnificent finish. I mean, you think about the shot she hit out the sand at 18 yesterday as well, to have that 3-shot lead heading into this final round, and she needed that 3-shot cushion.
Well, you've waxed lyrical all week about how good she finishes off rounds of golf. That is not an easy thing to do. You know, as soon as you start getting to 16, 17, 18, the end is coming near, and a lot of people tighten up. I think that is what has made her win this event, really. It's a just commitment to keep pushing through the finish line.
I got it.
She's changed the shirt, put a dry one on.
these are wonderful moments, aren't they? Where it just starts to seep in. It'll take a little while for it to sink in properly, especially when she has to make her way from California to Augusta in the next few weeks.
It's not a bad practice ground to walk onto, is it? And have everybody saying congratulations at Augusta National.
Well, she's not far away now from getting her hands on the first spoils, if you like. It's here from the champion, Virada Neerapatpong is down there for us.
What a fantastic week we have here at Hoi Shore Golf Club and a very exciting finish. I'm delighted to welcome our presentation party along with our champion. To my far left, we have Taimur Hassan Amin, chairman of the Asia Pacific Golf Confederation, and Neil Farquharson, chairman of the RNA, and of course, our champion of the week, Janice Wong from Malaysia. Well, Janice, you've been really strong all week, and the championship came down all the way to the final hole. What was going through your mind, and how proud of you of your accomplishment this week?
This is just like unreal. I'm still in shock that this happened. I think the main goal for today was just staying composed and then saving pars and birdies. So it was a bit stressful.
And now I'm sure it was intense out there, but now how does it feel to be standing here as the 2025 WAAP champion?
Really good.
Well, it looks like you will have a pretty busy year ahead with 3 major championships to add to your travel schedule. How exciting are those opportunities?
Really exciting, especially just giving me the experience to play in those top LPGA tournaments that I want to play in the future.
Well, congratulations, and we'll certainly be cheering you on. And now if I could please ask Neil Farquharson, chairman of the RNA, to please present the trophy to our champion.
The 2025 Women's Amateur Asia Pacific Champion. How sweet is that? Well, it was a few twists and turns over that back 9, but she emerged. They had most of that weekend.
And those last 3 players were all 3 under par each for the last 6 holes, and that's where we saw that the excitement come through.
Just running you through some of the performances there. Asherai Swiwong, 3rd last year, just outside the top 10 this time around. And Sir Choi from New Zealand, she'll no doubt be looking forward to next year's event in Royal Wellington. That'll be in 11 months' time.
It'll come round oh so quickly, and we'll be getting excited to visit in New Zealand, but also seeing what's next. The 8th champion. This is our 7th one. A star is born. The beaming smile of Janice Wong.
Well, it's an event that is a launch pad for the next generation of international golf stars. This week belongs to Janice Wong. From all of us here, bye-bye for now.